I'm diving in, trying to make my first sourdough loaf. So I've got my starter here. Kind of alluded to this like a few videos back that I was trying out something. It took pretty much like all of January, and then now we're into February, but it took quite a while and like a lot of trial and error to finally get a starter going. But I'm happy to say that like I have 2 starters actually going, but I'm saving one for my parents, and then maybe if anyone else in my family wants to try out sourdough. So I've got a recipe. I am gonna say I'm using Ballerina Farms recipe. I kind of like over the years have taken a lot of knowledge on sourdough I've taken a lot into my brain, and then of course come like showtime it's like what do I actually do? So I was kind of researching different ingredients or different recipes to see, and I like hers because it has like I can rest it in the fridge overnight, which is perfect for my routine and my schedule. So I am going to I'll leave her recipe I guess down below. Sounds so fancy saying that, but I don't know how else to say that like or show what I'm using, because I am measuring using like typical household things, so no scale. I'm going to use cups and just see how it goes and pray that it turns out successful, even though like I know it could fail, but I'm going to stay hopeful that it's going to work out. So come along on my sourdough journey that everybody else is doing, but it really has such good health benefits. At least that's what I know. It's the end of the night, cleanup time. So I don't know the science behind sourdough starter. I don't have any information other than I know that it's like a little bit more gut friendly, and I need things that help my gut because I have struggled with IBS in the past, or it can be renamed as endometriosis. So anything that will be a little bit easier on my stomach, I will take. That's the only part that I know about sourdough. Don't ask me what it's doing, being fed and doing, I don't know. Don't know. So we're gonna get ingredients ready and get this prepped to sit in our fridge overnight. Let's see. I think I'll use this bowl here because it seems like big enough. Also, if you see like stains on my shirt, it is, like I said, the end of the night. I have wiped snot on me, I have wiped food, water, all the things. First, I'm adding about a cup of my starter. It smells so good. I'm so excited. Adding a cup of my starter to the bowl. The bubbles popping and everything. Oh, you can't even see. Hi, Gooey. I love you. Next, I'm adding 3 cups of water. This is what it's looking like. Nice and milky water. So, now I've got to add lots of flour. So her recipe says like 7, again, I converted it all to cups from grams because I'm just gonna measure with what I have, and it's about 7 cups of flour. I'm using King Arthur's unbleached all-purpose flour. But I've also used, I think it's called like I think it's called Arrow Mills or Arrowhead. That's flour as well, that's unbleached. That's actually what my whole starter is made from, and then I got this one for showtime. I'm gonna call it that. Not, I didn't time myself, so I don't know if that was 2 or 3 minutes, but it's feeling like a good consistency, so I'm just gonna use intuition and stop there. So now I'm going to cover and let sit for 90 to 120 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and let it sit for that 120 minutes, so 2 hours, and then I'll come back to it afterwards. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Let's see. That needs to stay up. Look at that. Okay, back. Showered, end of the night. Game is on, so try to be, you know, a little bit football. So I have let this dough sit now for 2 hours. I want to see what it looks like. Okay. We have some rice. So excited. Look. Yes, of course, the Lido's here too. So next steps. Oh my gosh. Whatever, it is what it is. Next steps, I have to add salt. I'm gonna add some more water and knead for 5 to 10 minutes until the water and salt are fully incorporated. Okay, so I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I have like, it's about 1/3 cup of water that I'm gonna add in, and then a little more than a tablespoon of pink salt is what I'm using to combine in here and get an arm workout for about 10 minutes. I'm just gonna cover it up and stick it in the fridge until tomorrow morning, and then you'll see me in the morning looking at my third look of this video. All right, we are back this morning to get the dough, check on it, see how much it rose in the refrigerator, and then get to kneading and folding and all those things that I've only read about, and now we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna get my dough, take a look at it, and then get started on the next steps. I mean, it looks good to me. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but it looks good. It didn't do anything weird in the refrigerator overnight. Just got some flour here so that I can flour my surface and start separating the dough and rolling it. I let these sit on the counter for 20 minutes, and now I believe I'm gonna do the same thing again to stretch them out, fold them, and then try to shape them again. And it says they should be less sticky. They just didn't like do anything on the counter as far as like rising or anything. I don't know if they're supposed to, but I'll do that same process again, and then I think they're going to proof in the containers. So let's see. Dad sees me frown. Are you feeling sad? He asks Daniel. I tell him that I feel sad. I feel sad because I feel left out. He wants to play with his friends, but he can't. He has to listen to his mommy and daddy. He tells me that it's okay to feel sad. Little by little, I'll feel better. Little by little, you will feel better. Double duty time. So now I just shaped those again, as you saw. And what I'm going to do is, it says, place them into floured proofing baskets. Again, the theme is using what I have in my house. So I'll show you what I did. I just did like a quick Google, like what to use if I don't have like the tea towels or anything like that. So it said that I can use cheesecloth and then like flour it and proof them like that. So I'm going to put these in the fridge for 2 hours, and then I get to bake them. I'm so excited. So I'll show you right now what they look like. Then they're gonna go in the fridge and we'll come back in 2 hours. So this is one of them. I put it in like a plastic bowl. Who knows what the real thing should be. But I like floured the cheesecloth really well. I put the dough in here, like I flipped it over and put, this is like supposed to be the seam side, even though there's not really a seam, but I'm gonna cover this with some plastic. And then this one, I just used like a colander, the same thing, cheesecloth, really floured it. And then I'm going to cover this as well. And then we will see these in 2 hours. So this is how it looks. I scored it, but you can see like just how flat it is. So we'll keep going and see what happens. Okay, my oven preheated, so I'm gonna take out my Dutch oven. It finished playing that music. Then put this inside. It looks so bad in there. Oh, I hope this works. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of water like in the pot for steam. Oh, you hear that? Okay, so this is what it looks like. I'm gonna bake it at 450 for 30 minutes and then take off the lid and bake for an additional 15 to get crispy. And we'll see what it looks like after. Mommy needs to open hot. Remember, not in the kitchen with the ball. That's not safe. This looks terrible. Like nothing about this looks good. Why does it look like it's not done? Oh, the bottom looks pretty. But as expected, or suspected, I guess, it didn't rise. I'm gonna let it cool, still taste it because that was a lot of work, but I think I've gotta adjust for the next time that I decide I wanna bake bread. This is what it looks like. Like not even cute. Why didn't it rise? What did I do wrong? Gosh. This like bread, I am determined to figure out. So I've got to do some more research and find another day that I can bake. So the second loaf is baking now. I have a feeling it's going to turn out just like this one because it looks just as flat. And yep, so I guess we'll wait and see. No, I almost feel like it's not done. I wonder like what would have been the problem. This is the first loaf. The second loaf is still baking. It has about 10 minutes left, but that's what it reminds me of. Like it's not done. How weird. It smells really good. I kind of want to taste it. Okay, it tastes good, but I don't know that it is fully baked. So I'm gonna let the other one kind of stay maybe like 1 or 2 minutes longer and see, but frustrating. It's okay, it was my first time. I'm proud I got to this point. The bottom looks gorgeous, I like that. So that's my review right now of my first loaf. Here is the second one out of the oven. This one has like, even though it still looks flat, it has a little bit more of a rise than the first one because I let this one kind of sit out on the countertop while the other one baked. So that leads me to believe like I need to do a, I don't know what step it is, but I need to do like a proof, I guess, or a rise, I don't know, something. Let the dough rest like on the countertop next time. So I'll wait and cut into this one too. I'm kind of feeling like defeated, but I know that this is the whole process of learning how to bake sourdough. I'm just proud that I at least have a starter that went, but I at least have a starter that I can use again once it has another rise. The hard part is knowing like this took 7 cups of flour, so I don't like wasting things, but it comes with learning, and this is something completely new. So I will be trying this again in the future, kind of tweaking like a few different things as I go. Thanks for coming along on this sourdough journey with me that I have very little like scientific notes behind. I just know from watching and looking, and I am determined to get this down. So I can do though discard recipes because I've done a discard pancake that has been really good. And, oh, and today maybe if I have time a little bit later, I wanted to try doing like discard crackers because that sounds delicious. So I'm gonna give my oven a little break. I'll show you my pot though. It was so beautiful, but now it has officially been, what do they call it? Worn in? I don't know. I forget the word. Mom brain gone. So thanks for coming along with me on this journey of baking bread. If you have any tips, I will take them. I'll leave, I guess, the recipe down below that I used. Again, it was from Ballerina Farm. So maybe, I know she lives like in a different climate than I do, so maybe it was just different and she needed like fermentation time in the fridge, but next time I will definitely be doing a recipe that calls for it to do it on the counter. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again in another video. Have a good day, good night, great everything, goodbye.